Hello.
Hi, Facebook world. Welcome.
Tuesdays with rhyming.
I don't have a brain today. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
So, disclaimer, Brandy's out of it.
I left my brain back before we changed into daylight savings or whatever, and it wasn't, this dark at night, I'm asleep.
Yeah, so we may go all over the place, but we do have a topic.
Yeah, we do have a topic today. Brandon's with us. This should be entertaining. So we are talking about relationships and money tonight.
Money on the heels of our conversation on the holidays. What better topic?
Right.
Because I started my Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
It's time to talk about money.
Yeah, how much more uncomfortable could we make people? Talk about like in-laws, holidays. Now let's move it right into finances, right? The stuff we don't talk about with anybody else. Let's talk about it with everybody.
But you can just listen to it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. You guys see if there's a conversation you and your partner want to have about it.
Yeah. So we're trying to brainstorm before we start now a few tips so that every week you will come out of here with some talking points to go have great, rich conversation with your person. Hello.
Hi, Carrie.
Carrie's here. We've got two. Woo!
Good night.
So, money.
Yeah.
We're starting with curiosity.
Yes. We should adopt that for all of our conversations. All of our rich conversations should begin on the foundation of curiosity.
Calm curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what were the messages around money that we grew up with? We all have different stories regarding money. How did our parents handle money? Were there fights in the house around money? Did you have a lot of money? Did you not have any money? This is where we form our original ideas around finances.
Yeah, and sometimes when you look back, you might see that you are following right down the path that your parents had with money. Maybe you handle money just the same way they did. Sometimes we do the exact opposite. Sometimes
we want to do it different.
Yeah, sometimes it's like I had a friend I work with. Actually, we were talking about never mind. It's not quite related to money, but it is. It's the idea of oftentimes we want to do different for our own kids than we had for ourselves, and so sometimes money's that way, right? Sometimes if we went without or we feel like we went without, like then we really want to like lavish on, or vice versa. Anyways. I'm not going to rabbit trail. Watch me stay with the topic.
Stay with the topic. So a great conversation to just go through what were the messages and then what did I come out? Did I come out with the messages of I really want to save more? I really want to do things different. I talked to a couple last week and like the parents had never saved anything. They don't really have any retirement, and so they're very motivated as a couple to make sure that they're saving. So you want to piece those puzzle pieces together as far as do you want to save? Do you want to spend? Do you want to, what do you want to do?
Yeah, and so again, we go back to this idea of curiosity. The reason we want to have this conversation is to get understanding. We want to understand, one, how and why and how do we manage money, or does money manage us the way it does?
Why is it so important?
Yeah, let's get an understanding about it.
To it.
And then let's understand that about our partner, because I promise you, when we have that understanding and it's like, oh, you kind of do that, like I get it, it's a security thing, or it's a confidence thing, or it's a way you show love thing, right? When you understand that there's roots to it and it's not just to piss you off, right? You're going to have a lot more patience and be able to actually converse about it without, fighting, without it maybe getting ugly, is my experience at least.
Right. If someone has experience of really not having money and they really need savings to feel secure, it's not that they're just trying to get in fights or be picky. It's like this provides safety for me and I need to be able to feel safe.
Yeah.
So a lot of emotional attachment with it. So
start there. Start with kind of just looking at your own childhood and how does those experiences around money shape where you are now. And then the next step we want you to do is to try and evaluate, like, what are your fears about money? What are your goals about money? Right? And that might be a bit of an inside job for a minute. It may take a minute to think about and really kind of dig in, what are my fears about money? Like, at different points in my life, I had huge fears of like, oh my gosh, what if I can't make my car payment on time? Like, this was a big fear.
Right.
Now it's like, oh shoot, we forgot the car payment 2 months ago. I better get that taken care of, right? Or, you know, I mean, they just shift, they evolve over time. Or goals, you know, at different times, it's like we had a certain benchmark that we wanted to have in savings.
Right.
And, you know, oftentimes with Brandon and I, we tend to have pretty different goals and fears about money. So it's really important that we talk about it, because it's pretty easy for us to get on different pages.
Yeah, and then be able to honor and support some of those
Yes.
different, especially the goals.
Yeah.
Like if you really, really want to have X amount in savings, what can you do as a couple to make sure that that's happening? I know when you take time to actually look at where the spending is going, there's usually a way to wiggle some money in different directions.
Yes.
We ate how much in food? How much?
Yes. Yes, that happens. I'm gonna make sure we're not missing
Any
comments down
questions?
here.
All right, third step.
Okay, so money is a teamwork job.
Yes, this whole idea of like they're just handling it. Like, Brandy, you just handle the money, and then I'm going to get angry with you if we don't have any. Like, this is why finances become such a sticking point in marriage, is there's a lot of blame.
Yes.
And so you want to, whether you have a lot of money or you have a little money, you want to be teamwork.
Yes.
With the
Let's have
partners.
some shared knowledge about it. Right?
Mhm.
I mean, if one of you is a really phenomenal accountant and then the other like can't count 10, even if you have 10 fingers, like, we're not saying like, no, one of like, you should equally share the accounting responsibilities,
Right.
but both parties, people involved with the money, should have a good idea and a good understanding of just what money's coming in, what money's going out, and where are we putting our money, and, you know, how are we working towards our goals.
Yeah, even if you're just, I think Brad and I, our pattern now is we sit down Sundays. I'm the number gal.
Mhm.
So I sit down. I like the organization. I work with people all day, so it feels like, ooh, numbers.
Something I can control.
It's tangible. Numbers coming in, numbers going out. And so I'm the one on bill pay.
Yes.
But I used to get really cranky if it was like he had no part.
Uh-huh.
And now he's a great filer. He'll love that that he sits and he files all
Yes.
the different bills, but it's that conversation that we have. It's kind of like, what's the status? Where are we at for this week? Where are we at for this month? How do we want to allot here and there? And so we just have the partnership in it instead of like, wait, where did it go?
Right. Yeah.
So however that looks like, yeah, you don't have to necessarily do all of the same things,
Mm-hmm.
but the conversation on what's coming in, what's going out, what are the goals, and that brings us to number 4,
Mm-hmm.
which is discuss. You may not need it, but for a lot of couples, there is the amount of money to where I need to have a conversation with my spouse. So if I'm out at Target's probably mine down.
That's not where I'm going to
That's
be
not
spending
where
money, but
Brandy
it is where
doesn't like
she's
Target,
gonna
but
spend money.
I really like Target.
Yes.
So if I'm out at Target, I find an amazing deal.
Yes.
Am I going to pick up the phone at what amount to actually say, hey, I really want to do this, and check in? So some people, maybe that's $50. I don't want to spend $50 without checking in with my spouse. Some people, that's $1,000. Whatever it is for your marriage, for your relationship, figure that out.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're out getting groceries, probably not a thing. But if it's the extra things,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Well, there's laughter happening.
She's gotten very quiet.
Yes. Oh no, we still have people there. They just laugh emoji cons are like happening.
So have that, like, at $150, I'm going to pick up the phone or I'm going to text and say, hey, I'd really like to buy these shoes. They're great. Because you don't want secret spending.
Right. Yes, we don't want secret spending. If you don't have this conversation ahead of time, there's a good chance that you're going to have it afterwards in a really heated moment, right? Because you'll find out what the dollar amount is that you should have called about ahead of time.
Right. You're just coming out backwards.
Yes. Yeah. And so these are just some of these tips that, you know, marriage can be challenging, right? I mean, we're taking two totally different people and like, here, let's do lots together.
Let's
Let's share bank accounts. Let's
Oh, Brandon doesn't agree.
I know, my husband's like, whatever, we don't have a dollar amount. Yeah, right. But the idea here is like, let's make something that's challenging not more challenging, right? And so oftentimes finances can be an uncomfortable thing to talk about. You know, I mean, our culture pretty much, I would say, is like, we don't talk about finances, we don't talk about what people make openly, that type of thing. And unfortunately, sometimes that will get carried over, especially if we're raised.
No, Secret Santa.
Secret, yes. All right, you can, do Christmas stuff. But, oh my goodness, I lost my track.
Yeah, with the culture of, there's a lot of, I think, fear of failure around money. There's a lot attached to success and money, like, and so I know it can trigger for me, like, failure buttons.
Yes.
So it is something that just lights us up.
Yeah. And if we are dealing with some of those triggers related to money, I would just speak from my own personal experience. When I'm able to have these conversations with my partner, with Brandon, it makes it easier to navigate when things are uncomfortable about it, right? Because I feel like I have support, or I don't feel like I have to keep it a secret in my dark closet of like, oh my gosh, I overspent, or right. Like I can talk about like, yeah, I'm feeling frustrated right now that I'm not getting to do as many things as I'd like to, right? Because maybe times are tight. But when we talk about those things, it just makes it a lot easier to navigate that, and it helps us reevaluate our goals, because sometimes you know, we set goals at one point and 6 months later, like we might have entirely different goals financially. So it keeps it as fresh conversation.
Well, any questions out there?
Thoughts, comments? Secret spending sounds fun, like Secret Santa. Yes.
No secret. Well, minus gifts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. My poor husband. So I used to I hawked the bank account like early in our marriage. Like I was always logging in, and he thinks that I still do, but I don't know. And like, bless his heart, he tried so hard to like surprise me with a gift, and it would just never fell. It was like my spidey senses was like, Brandon swiped the card. And it was like, what happened? And I'm thinking like one time maybe he finally like figured out like, go pull the cash out, because then at least I can't see where it is. Like, when I think
I've had a call from Brad that's like, don't
log in.
It's too close to Christmas. Quit logging into the bank. Don't look. So as always, we have an online workshop, and so if you like some of these discussions, this is really representative of what the workshop is, which is talking points for you and your person, and then actual written exercises, if you like that, to take it to a deeper level. So you can always at any time enroll and it's 12 weeks, 12 different talking points for couples to help strengthen relationships.
Yeah. Yep. And again, it comes to your inbox. In your email, so you and your partner just get to kind of do it at your leisure, at your home, and you can access these Facebook Lives for questions, or access us kind of in other ways if that's necessary. But really, the workshop is designed to help couples have these conversations just at home in their privacy.
Yeah, some couples have separate accounts. Oh, very true. We were speaking from one account. So in that instance, the couples I've worked with, the important piece is really talking through, you know, what am I responsible for? What are you responsible for? And then, you know, is it just freedom past that? So, so the negotiation piece, you know, that it's really communication, however you're doing it. Separate accounts seem complicated. Yeah, I think some people make it work beautifully. And some people have separate accounts just within their relationship. Like there's some people that are really organized that have the account that all the bills come out of, and then the budget for different things,
playing or things like that. Yeah, it's ultimately these questions and these ideas are about having the conversations, because there isn't a right. There isn't like, oh, you should have to have a couple of accounts together, or you definitely should have accounts apart. It's really about figuring out what works for you two, and being able to just really be honest with each other about, it makes me really uncomfortable to have separate accounts. It feels like there's something sneaky, or it really makes me uncomfortable to have one account, because when you get really excited, sometimes you want to go drop $3,000 all of a sudden, like, and I need to make sure that our bills can be paid, right? Like, so we are going to have separate accounts. Yeah, it just really is about what works for you. Don't they call that? Prenuptials. Oh my goodness, my husband. You
The houses are helpful today.
Yep, you guys will see
I would
where all
love-
of our work comes from. All of our
I would
practice.
love my own spending money. No, Brad gets no money. He
None.
spend no money. That's what's coming out of this. Can you hear him giggling?
Yes.
Maybe that will come through.
Oh.
We're looking for topics. I mean, we always come up with topics because we like to talk, but
Yeah.
if you ever want to even just private message a topic, we'd love to cover that. Next week we're traveling.
Yes.
So I'm not sure. We may pop on impromptu in our travels, but there won't be the scheduled live.
So I think that puts us out to like the 20th.
20th.
I think the 20th is when I
Yes.
for sure will be back here
The
at 7 p.m.
Tuesday before Thanksgiving, we'll be back with a topic before Turkey Day.
Yeah.
So give us some ideas and share our Facebook page.
Yeah.
We're almost at 400 likes.
Yeah.
It's so
You guys
exciting.
are really making us so popular. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Hello.
Have a wonderful Tuesday, and until next week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I warned you. I left my brain at home.
Bye.